The Orion Repair Hub hung like a shining beacon against the endless black of space, a colossal human-built station that had earned a reputation far beyond the stars. This was not just any space station. It was the place where ships, no matter how strange or advanced, came when they needed fixing. A place where broken vessels found new life. Every day, alien ships of all shapes and colors glided in, their pilots trusting human hands more than any others, even in a galaxy filled with tension and distrust. At the heart of the station's operations was Captain Eleanor Miles, a woman known not only for her sharp mind and skill, but also for her calm presence in the chaos of endless repairs and arrivals. She had spent years building this hub from a small repair dock into a massive center of hope for travelers and warriors alike. Yet today, as the hum of engines filled the air and the busy crew moved with practiced precision, there was an unusual tension that even Elena could feel deep in her bones. Through the wide observation windows, a strange ship approached, larger than most, and unlike anything the humans had seen before. It moved awkwardly, almost limping through space, its hull scarred and damaged in ways that suggested a fierce battle or a terrible accident. The ship's design was unfamiliar. Sharp angles mixed with smooth curves, glowing lights that pulsed softly, hinting at technology both ancient and advanced. Whispers quickly spread through the repair crews and dock workers as the ship slowly aligned itself with the docking bay, its crew silent and watchful. Eleanor watched closely, her eyes narrowing, not out of fear, but from a growing curiosity. Who were these newcomers? What secrets did their broken ship hold? The station's scanners gave limited information, and that only added to the mystery. The aliens inside said nothing at first, their movements cautious but proud. Elena had seen many different species come and go, but there was something different about these visitors. They did not seem eager to communicate or trade. Instead, they appeared almost reluctant, as if hiding something deeper beneath their damaged exterior. The air in the station felt charged, the usual noise dimming as workers paused to glance at the new arrival, speculation buzzing in every corner. Some wondered if this was a trick, a ploy from a rival faction in the galaxy to gain some advantage by studying the famous Orion hub. Others hoped that these strangers might bring new knowledge or technology, but no one dared speak too loudly. Elena's mind raced as she prepared her team to inspect the ship. The damage was severe, far beyond a simple repair job. It would take every ounce of their expertise to bring the vessel back to life. Yet, there was also a silent warning in her heart. Something about this ship and its crew was different, perhaps dangerous, or maybe simply misunderstood. As the docking clamps locked and the airlocks began to cycle open, a quiet murmur spread throughout the station. Elena knew this moment could change everything for the Orion Repair Hub, for humanity's place in the galaxy, and for the fragile peace that seemed to hold the stars together. She took a deep breath and stepped forward, ready to meet the unknown. Thuts. Moment. The repair team stepped onto the strange alien flagship. They knew this would not be an ordinary job. The hull was a complex weave of metals and materials none of the human engineers had seen before. Some parts shimmered like liquid glass, others seemed almost alive, pulsing faintly with energy. Eleanor's team worked carefully, their scanners and tools probing every inch, trying to understand how to fix something so different. Despite the difficulty, the humans did what they did best: adapt. They mixed their technical knowledge with quick thinking and creativity, finding solutions where machines failed and manuals did not exist. The aliens' technology was impressive, far beyond human designs in many ways, but it lacked one key thing: the flexibility that comes from years of improvising in tight spots. Elena watched as her team patched together broken circuits using parts from other ships, rerouted damaged power cores with clever tricks, and even used their own human intuition to predict where hidden faults might lie. All the while, the alien captain, Raltek, observed quietly from a distance. His many eyes narrowed in suspicion at first, but as hours turned into days, he found himself drawn to the skill and determination of the humans around him. They did not panic when things went wrong, Nor did they rely only on their advanced tools. Instead, they rolled up their sleeves and used whatever was at hand, blending art and science in ways his own crew could not match. Rumors began to spread through the station and beyond, whispers among alien visitors that the humans were something special, that they performed repairs others could only dream of. Some called them miracle workers, others said it was their stubborn spirit that made the difference. Meanwhile, Eleanor felt a strange mix of pride and pressure. She knew the stakes were high, not just for the flagship or its crew, but for the reputation of the Orion Repair Hub and humanity itself. If they failed, if they made a mistake, it could mean lost trust or even conflict. But with every repaired panel and restored system, the ship seemed to come back to life, as if the station's very energy was breathing new strength into it. Raltek finally approached Elena, his voice low but respectful, asking questions about the human methods, trying to understand how they worked so quickly with so little guidance. Their conversation was cautious but honest, and Elena found herself surprised by his curiosity and openness despite his alien nature. It was clear this repair was more than a job. It was a test, a chance to show that humans were more than just another species in the galaxy. As the final systems hummed back to life and the flagship's engines roared softly, the station buzzed with excitement and disbelief. Other alien crews gathered near the docks, eager to witness the human skill that had saved the day. The air was thick with awe and a little envy, but also with something deeper, respect. Elena knew this was only the beginning, that the stories of human ingenuity and heart would spread far beyond this moment, shaping how other species saw humanity in the vastness of space. She glanced back at the repaired ship, now gleaming under the station's lights, and allowed herself a small smile. The human touch had done what no machine alone could. It had turned broken metal into a symbol of hope and unity. As word of the Orion Repair Hub's extraordinary success spread across the galaxy, not everyone welcomed humanity's rising influence with open arms. A powerful rival alien faction, known for its strict control over technology and trade routes, began to watch the hub with suspicion. They questioned why human repair stations received so many contracts from ships of diverse species, wondering if there was more to this than just superior skill. Rumors circulated that humans might be spying on other factions or planting devices for sabotage, stirring unease in political circles far beyond the station's orbit. Pressure mounted on diplomatic channels, demanding investigations and restrictions on the hub's operations. But despite the growing tension, Eleanor Miles and her team stayed focused on what mattered most, their craft. They continued to repair, innovate, and serve without interruption, letting their work speak louder than any accusations. At the same time, small moments of connection began to emerge between the humans and their alien visitors. A shared meal. Here, an exchanged story there, gestures that transcended language and species barriers. These acts, quiet but powerful, softened some of the hostility in the air. Alien crews, who had once viewed humans with skepticism, now saw them as trustworthy allies, or at least reliable partners in a dangerous universe. The station became more than just a place to fix ships. It turned into a meeting ground where cultures mingled and fragile friendships began to form. Elena noticed this shift herself, watching crews laugh over shared jokes or exchange gifts before returning to their ships. It was these small threads of kindness that started weaving a stronger fabric of unity amid the galaxy's fractures. Meanwhile, the Orion Repair Hub's reputation grew beyond simple excellence in repairs. It became known as a rare neutral zone, a place where conflict paused and cooperation took priority. Many factions sent representatives just to observe or negotiate, recognizing the station's value as a peaceful meeting point. The station's corridors buzzed with voices in dozens of languages, each telling stories of hope or hardship, all carried beneath the common purpose of survival and progress. But tensions still simmered beneath the surface. The rival faction did not give up their suspicions easily, and their agents quietly worked to find evidence against the humans. Eleanor sensed the invisible eyes watching every move, and though she kept calm, She knew a single misstep could ignite the fragile piece. She called her team together often, reminding them to stay vigilant but not lose faith in what they had built. Her leadership became a beacon, steady and reassuring, even when political storms threatened to pull the station into chaos. Deep inside the heart of Orion, the daily rhythm of repairs and diplomacy continued, a delicate dance of skill, trust, and courage. For Elena and her crew, every fixed ship was a victory not just over damage, but over suspicion and fear. They were proving that humanity's true strength lay not only in technology, but in the ability to connect, to build bridges in a divided galaxy. And as the station's lights glowed brighter in the endless night, it became clear that the Orion Repair Hub was no longer just a place of machines. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to what could be achieved when different beings chose to work together, even when the universe around them threatened to tear apart. The peaceful hum of the Orion Repair Hub was shattered without warning one cold, silent cycle of space when sensors blared and red lights flashed across the control rooms. Pirates had appeared in the station's vicinity, ships known for their ruthless tactics and greed, demanding ransom with threats of total destruction. Elena Miles, immediately alerted, felt the weight of responsibility settle heavy on her shoulders. This was more than just a threat to a repair station. It was a challenge to humanity's place in the galaxy and the fragile peace that had taken so long to build. The pirates' demands were clear: pay up or watch the station burn, their voices crackling through communication channels with menace and certainty. Yet Eleanor knew that surrender was not an option. She gathered her crew quickly, her voice calm but commanding, urging them to rely on what humans had always depended on in desperate times: their sharp minds, quick reflexes, and unbreakable spirit. They had no overwhelming firepower, but they had something more valuable: deep knowledge of starship systems and an unmatched ability to think creatively under pressure. As the pirates closed in, Elena and her engineers turned the station itself into a trap, setting hidden defenses and using the station's labyrinthine corridors and docking bays to their advantage. They rewired energy flows to create blinding light bursts, rerouted power to disable pirate ships' systems, and deployed decoys that confused enemy sensors. Each move was calculated, combining technology with the kind of improvisation born from years of facing impossible odds. The alien visitors watched from observation decks and their own ships, stunned by the humans' resilience and the elegance of their defense. The pirates tried to adapt, but the humans were always one step ahead, anticipating their moves and striking back with precision and unexpected tactics. Elena coordinated her team with quiet confidence, her mind racing through possibilities while remaining steady amid the chaos. Her crew's teamwork and quick thinking transformed what could have been a desperate battle into a demonstration of human ingenuity and courage. The fight stretched over hours, each moment testing the limits of endurance and resolve. The pirates, frustrated and outmaneuvered, finally retreated, leaving behind a station that stood firm, scarred but unbroken. The victory was more than physical. It was a message to all watching species that humanity would not be easily subdued or intimidated. As the dust settled, whispers spread among the alien crews about the humans' tactical creativity and bravery, strengthening the Orion Repair Hub's legendary status. Elena knew that this test was not just about defense. It was about proving that the human spirit could shine brightest when darkness threatened to engulf them. The station's lights burned brighter that day, not just from restored power, but from the renewed hope and respect born in the heat of battle. After the pirate attack was finally repelled, the atmosphere around the Orion Repair Hub changed in ways no one had fully expected. The various alien factions that had long eyed humanity's growing influence with caution began to acknowledge what they had witnessed firsthand: the unmatched skill, bravery, and quick thinking of Elena Miles and her human crew. It was clear, now that the humans were not just skilled technicians or fierce defenders. They represented something deeper, a unique combination of technical mastery, adaptability, and empathy that had turned what was once a simple repair station into a powerful symbol of hope and unity across the fractured galaxy. Diplomatic channels buzzed with new energy as representatives from many species came to the station, not just to request repairs, but to discuss formal alliances and mutual support. These talks were cautious at first, but the respect earned through actions rather than words paved the way for meaningful cooperation. Elena often found herself in meetings where alien leaders debated terms and shared visions for a future where their differences could be bridged by a common goal: peace through partnership. Watching these discussions, Elena reflected on how far humanity had come, not just in technology or strategy, but in its ability to connect across cultures and build trust. The station had become more than a place to fix ships. It was a gathering point where old grudges softened and new friendships began. The repairs and defenses were only the foundation. The real strength lay in the willingness to understand and help one another. As ships from dozens of species began arriving regularly, not because their vessels were broken, but out of respect and hope for what the hub represented, Elena felt a quiet pride. She knew that the human approach was different. It was not about domination or fear, but about excellence, kindness, and the courage to face challenges together. The bustling docks were alive with energy, the corridors filled with voices in many tongues sharing stories and dreams. Even the rival factions that once viewed the hub with suspicion now participated in joint projects and cultural exchanges, drawn in by the possibility of a safer galaxy. Elena looked out from the observation deck, watching the stars flicker beyond the station's lights, and felt a sense of calm determination. The journey was far from over, and dangers would come again, but the foundation was strong. Humanity's spirit, the blend of skill, creativity, and heart, had turned Orion Repair Hub into a beacon that others would follow. The story of this station was no longer just about fixing ships. It was about repairing the broken bonds between worlds, showing that unity through excellence was possible, even in the darkest corners of space. And as the new day began, with countless ships swarming the hub not in desperation, but in respect, Elena smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning of a greater adventure for all of them.